A lot going on. I'm doing my Kermit the Frog. Somebody might be going home tomorrow. Welcome into another broadcast of Certified Unscripted. I'm your host, Vera Jones, and it has gotten crazy. Playoffs time, down to the crunch. What's going on? Where'd Connecticut go? Phoenix, I told you about Brittany Griner. I told you Phoenix had it in them. So we'll be talking a lot about that as we catch up on the WNBA playoffs. Plus, we have a very, very special guest. Every time we get here every Tuesday night, it feels like we're bursting with excitement all over women's hoops. And it's all because of you. Thank you so much. Those of you that are joining us on Facebook Live as well as YouTube Live. Also, make sure you check us out on certifiedunscripted.com. You can always go there and play catch up on the various things that we've been talking about. So we appreciate you for coming in. And now as we get down to the crunch, we cannot wait another moment to bring in our Power Pack panel. We always begin with the GM because that's where the money comes from. Penny Toler, her name is money. Penny Toler, general manager, spent over 23 years with the LA Sparks, who weren't in the playoffs this year. But anyway, that's another story. Penny, welcome back to the broadcast. We missed you last week.
Hey, I missed you guys too because there was a lot going on, and I was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm missing the show." So I'm happy to be back this week. Let's go! It's on and popping. The
Real
WNBA
topics.
is hot. It's hot
Real
right
topics,
now.
raw opinions. That's how we roll at Certified Unscripted. And how could we do it without the mighty Ruthie Bolton? Always brings us something. Always brings us back. Been a long time, Ruthie. Welcome back to the show.
I owe my team. I owe y'all 3 sets of 10 burpees. I owe y'all. Y'all stood in the gap for me while I was out, but I'll come back. I owe y'all some burpees and push-ups.
All right, we'll get back to that. The burpees and the push-ups.
Well, you can do mine if I owe anybody.
Yeah. And then last but not least, you want to talk about missing somebody's spoon. It has caused me pain, physical pain that you haven't been here. Welcome back.
Hey, it's good to be back with my peeps, getting ready to talk ball. Hey, I apologize. I'm like, Ruthie, I owe you. But Ruthie, I'm going to take a little rest before I do those burpees, dog.
Come on, you got a spoon. You got it. I believe in you.
Hey, I'm happy to be back. Let's get this thing popping. It's a lot to talk about.
It's a lot to talk about. Not only is there a big fight going on in the WNBA for who is going to end up in the finals, but we got some off-the-court fighting that happened way back when. We'll get to that as well as we start talking. And, of course, we'll take all of the questions we can. But first, what's the first thing on your mind, Penny? First thing, real quick. First thing on your mind tonight?
The first thing on my mind is people better show up or it's click, lights out. That's the first thing on my mind right now. Show up or lights out.
Who's sleeping? You think it's Connecticut?
Connecticut is going to be interesting because I'm going to tell you something. Not to skip over Connecticut. That was a tough loss, I'm sure, for them last week. To be honest with you, I'm sitting back and I'm one of those people as a GM. I used to tell my team, the Sparks, when you get to the playoff, it's this saying I always say, don't get to the dance and dance with a different partner. Get to the dance and dance with the same partner. And what I mean by that, they better find a way to get Bonner involved,
Yeah.
And I know that Alicia Thomas is there, but everything's going through her, and that's not how they got to be, number one in the league. And I don't even know if DeWanna Bonner even touched the ball the last 6-7 minutes of that last game that they lost.
True.
And, neither did Vera Jones. And, Kirk got a hard job because he does have such a great piece coming back. But like I say, you don't get to the dance and change partners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get to the dance and you dance with who you brought to the dance. Okay?
Yeah, right. All right. Keep the same partner. Ruthie, what's on your mind?
I'm just, I'm pulling for Connecticut, man. I was sitting at the edge of my seat. I think that that's one thing obviously great about the playoffs. If you can't just show up because you're number one, just think you're going to win automatically. But yeah, I'm just like, I'm pulling for Connecticut, man. I want them to, I'm a Bonner girl. She's an Auburn girl, so I really, I don't know, but hey, you got to give Chicago credit for stepping up.
Yeah, I think they're coming in with a chip on their shoulder. Teaspoon, you've been away for a minute. You've probably been thinking about a lot of stuff. What's on your mind?
I know I'm with Ruthie. I was definitely Connecticut bound. I was like, yeah. But the difference is when you're the top team and you're sitting, you're waiting, it could work either or for you.
Good point.
Don't work good or bad. I mean, you can be rusty or not. So you kind of wonder, during that time, did they keep everything game-like, staying game prepared? Everything should have been like game ready. But I don't know, because right now they met up with a team that's playing really, really well together in Chicago. And when you talk about a leader in Vandersloot, like, hey, we're gonna do our thing. She's getting everybody involved. You guys have freaking 18 assists in one game. You guys know how hard that is, to get people the ball. I mean, she fed the whole table. Everybody is feasting off of what she's doing. She's making everybody be the best version of themselves. And that's why it's so hard for Connecticut to beat this team. It's everybody that's involved.
Everybody,
And if Connecticut does not get everybody involved, they don't get Bonner getting everybody involved, they cannot keep going down to Big Girl. They can't go to Alyssa Thomas right now. It has to go through Bonner, and Alyssa has to fit into what they've built to where they are. And when if not, that uniform gonna be hanging up, going to the cleaners, and it's gonna be another wait for the next season.
What do you think about this? This is trending. Jonquel Jones, don't be dissing my cousin, but this is trending. I thought she, I'm not. Who cares what I think? What do y'all think?
To me,
she's clearly. Let me tell you something. For the regular season, and this is why you have two different MVPs. Jonquel Jones is clearly the MVP of the WNBA this year, and it's one of those things where I know myself, just because someone don't play well, or their team don't do well, I'm not going to jump ship on that. She clearly is the MVP during the regular season. Now in the playoffs, that might be Griner right now, who's playing probably the best and the most consistent, of all the players there. But Jonquel is truth, and and I'm not knocking anybody. I'm not trying to talk about a coach or nothing, but like I said, you don't get to the dance and dance with a different partner.
Right. All right. Well, there's something to think about. We'll probably get back to that because I know there's going to be a lot of discussion about the playoffs. In fact, the discussion is going to be so good that we decided we needed another expert to just come on board. So I am really, really happy to talk about our special guest tonight. If you did not catch it, we are welcoming a 3-time NCAA champ at UConn from the 2002, 2003, and 2004 seasons, if I have that correct. She was the 2003 Defensive Player of the Year in the Big East. Anybody know who I'm talking about? I'm checking the chats to see how y'all's knowledge, see your knowledge. Selected by the Seattle Storm, number 25 in the 2005 WNBA draft. And then she went on to play for the New York Liberty 2006 through, I think, about 2009. I am talking about the one and the only Ashley Battle. Ashley, welcome on board. We appreciate having you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here with all of you. You guys are talking a lot about the playoffs. It's been interesting. We're going to see what's happening, though.
Well, we're going to throw you in the mix on this. What's on your mind? First thing, you knew you were coming on this show, so we gotta start talking about what's going on in the WNBA playoffs. What's the first thing on your mind?
Well, first things on my mind is I guess Diana's ankle's feeling pretty good.
Yeah. She's back.
She went from not playing to scoring 37 the other day.
Okay.
Which is crazy. And I gotta agree with Penny. You can't go to the dance and choose a different partner. They've been rolling with Jonquel all season, and I know AT is a huge part of their lineup and what they do, but she hasn't been there all year. And I think you gotta go with the people who got you there.
Yeah. I think you're absolutely right. So one of the things too, so we've been talking, we've got a lot of thoughts going on here, one of which we were sure that there was a strong 1 and 2. And now we're seeing there was actually a stronger, 3 and 6, or wherever this all played out of how everybody came in. Talk about Chicago. How strong are they? Penny, I'm going to let you jump off on this one. Did they surprise you?
No, the bottom line is, and this is my opinion, if you got a strong leader and a strong one, anything's possible. Like what Spoon has said, Vandersloot is the truth. She's, I think she done led the league in assists the last 3 years. Adding Candace Parker, that gives another dimension of, championship experience. And hey, we can't leave out the emergence of Kalia Cooper. That kid, she's done made herself into a baller. She's doing all the little things. She's playing defense. She's getting tough, but I think in Connecticut, I go back to what Spoon was saying. I think the rest hurt them, and this is the first time ever. I think we're seeing the number 1 and the number 2 team on the verge of being eliminated. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Bonner got not 1, not 2, but 3 rings. So this is why I'm saying, she's a big time baller and she got to get some shots. And in Chicago, they doing the same thing Phoenix is doing. Their men's team are buying playoff tickets. Phoenix, their men teams, Chris Paul and all them buying playoff tickets. It's going to be so loud in these places that now, that focus is going to have to be there. But I'm going to tell you something. Connecticut got the better chance. And I love myself some Chelsea Gray, and I'm going to wish her good luck. But I'm going to tell you something. Diana right now is looking vintage Diana. And if I was a coach, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not trying to tell them what to do, but I sort of can't.
Go ahead and tell them what to do. Why not?
Like I said, first of all, Asia got to get into the game. And to be honest with you, I'm a guard, and everybody on this phone know, everybody on this panel is a guard, and we know. Guards are the head of the horse, and it starts with that. My girl Chelsea is so gifted and so talented that sometimes she defers. I saw her do it with Candace, where she would defer and wait and then try to be aggressive. Hey, she got to be aggressive out the gate.
Yeah.
Because Skylar and Diana are coming. And I'm going to tell you right now, Vegas has got to run the ball, and they got to push the ball, and they got to push it, because I'm going to tell you why. Brittany killing you right now. So you need to get up and down the floor and make Brittany play somebody, because she ain't really had to run nobody. You got to make Diana play some defense, and you got to get in Diana grill. That's why we always put a lane of beard on Diana. Now they got a bigger problem because Diana done rest the last game. So Diana may get 40 this game because she done had like 4 or 5 days rest. But I'm telling you, they got to get out. They got to get Asia some easy looks. And yeah, people gonna be mad, but I'm telling you right now, I'm coming with Asia and I'm coming with Erica, and I'm running. I ain't saying you got to shoot it quick, but you got to put Brittany in some transition here, because she's killing them right now.
You played with Diana.
Yep, sure did.
Are we seeing above and beyond? Are we seeing next level Diana even at this age? Give us your thoughts on your former teammate.
Well, one thing's for sure is that she smells blood. And whenever she smells blood, she's going in for the kill. So, I wouldn't be surprised if they go out there and have one of the best games of the season, because she's going to have them ready, mentally ready, physically ready. She's going to be ready. And, the Aces haven't played their best basketball at all. At all. So they can, kind of hang their hat on that, trying to play better and getting Asia more involved and being the up tempo team that we've seen all year. But if they don't change anything, like Phoenix is coming in hot. The last couple games towards the end of the season, they played the Liberty, and I was able to broadcast that game. And I was watching them like they got a shot. Like, I don't think anybody's talking about them, but they started playing really well at the right time of the season, hitting on all cylinders. You got D hitting fadeaway, throw up shots that she just knows where the basket is going to go in. You got Griner dominating the post, and Skylar's really just getting whatever she wants whenever she wants to get it, whether it's in the paint or shooting threes. So their big three is coming to play. Yeah, and they gotta come in and try to stop them. Big four, because Turner's
killing them.
Turner is
killing them. That was Turner last game.
Yeah, that's why I said they big four.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Because Turner is literally the sleeper. That she is the sleeper. Because you put so much emphasis on Diana, Skylar, and BG that she just comes in and just dominates. Just hustles, gets creating extra possessions. I was like, if I was like 6'4", I feel like that would have been me out there doing that. I was like, she was like, dang, she out there just balling.
Now, when you were with the Liberty, did you go? I'm sorry, I'm going back to dates. I can't remember. Were you all playoff bound at that time?
Yes. We made the playoffs a few times. Could never get past Detroit in those teams with like Tweed and Katie Smith and, you know, Swin and who else was on the, I mean, Kara Braxton. I mean, they had some like
Cheryl
really,
Ford.
they had some really good, Cheryl Ford, really good
Ruth
players.
Riley.
And they just had our number.
Yeah. So what's the biggest difference? I mean, of all of the panel here, you're the most recent
That was a
player.
long time ago.
But what's the biggest difference jumping from, you know, when you look at how well Phoenix has done to step up, what's the biggest difference that you can relate to your playing days in terms of what became next level? Was it just that everybody, the big four in particular, stepped up their game, or what is that secret ingredient you think is necessary at playoff time?
I think you really have to have cohesiveness going into the playoffs. You really have to have everybody for the same goal. And you know, obviously everyone needs to play really well. You have to, and you need a little lady luck on your side to win. I don't care if it's, you know, everybody who's ever won a championship has had lady luck on their side. Whether it's injuries, whether it's just being healthy is lucky enough at this time of the season, but really focusing on executing, time to score, time to get a bucket, and just knowing those things. And the Aces are still really young, and I'm not quite sure if they understand time to score in possessions.
Question? Any thoughts, Teaspoon?
Well, I was just sitting thinking as Ashley was talking. When you have a leader like DT, she sets the tone. She sets the tone, and everybody's going to follow that. And that's key. You got to have a leader who's going to set the tone. Not going to let you lose. It's a matter of mind over matter, a will that's unbelievable, and she has it. And they have an approach that I like too. And the approach is every game is an elimination game. So they're going to give everything you freaking got in every game, because in their mind, if we lose, it's over. And that's the correct approach on everything, because now you value every possession.
Yeah.
You're going to be flawless defensively in your communication. And that's going to be key to success in the playoffs. Those little things are valuable in the playoffs, details. And this team right now, they're all about the details. Prime is running, they think about anything. I'm punching it in, let's score. They're not thinking about running a freaking play. I'm getting it into it, let's play. And that's the way you play the game. Go get the easy. And they're playing get the easy and then getting back. And I'm telling you, Ashley just mentioned someone who I think is key too as well, and that's Skylar Diggins. She's getting in people's ass in defense as well. She's making it hard to run their offense from where they want to be comfortable. So those little things have been absolutely excellent for Phoenix as they're playing against a pretty good dang Vegas game, a team, but they're not able to get in rhythm. But it's a reason why they're not able to get in rhythm. And that's Phoenix. That's Phoenix and what they're doing. Their game plan is pretty damn good.
Who's hype? Go ahead.
I
About
just
Ruthie.
say what it is, in essence, what you're saying, that they have a sense of urgency. They play like they got something to prove. They play like they're not just hitting you, they punching them in the face. And that's what they're doing. They come in. So to me, if I was you know, the Aces, they need to do is just find a way to get Teresa out of her. I don't know, because she's the quarterback of that team. They need to find a way to get her out of the game or do something, because if she right now she's in a zone, it like I said, she wants to win, she know how to win. They got to find a way to get her rattled a little bit, which takes a lot, but they got to find a way to get her unfocused in order for them to have a chance. Because if she stay in that zone, it's a wrap.
Yeah. And see, that's where I say, like Spoon, where, and this is why, we're going to take our defensive player of the year, Elena Beard, and we always had her on Teresa. We pressing her full court.
Yeah.
Because the reality of it is, she is older. And if you're going to beat me, you ain't going to beat me doing what you normally do. I got to take you out of something.
Yeah.
But the problem that the team's got now is Skylar Diggins, like Spoon say, her confidence is way up here since the Olympics. I mean, she's in straight attack mode. You see her focus when she does something well. She's like hyped up. And then Cunningham done joined the party too. And Brittany Turner is just like killing them. But Skylar's confidence after the Olympics is through the roof. And she's a huge reason why, like they playing on all cylinders. And then I also want to give a shout out to Sandy. Sandy came in with a great game plan. You know, I don't think they beat Vegas all year long. And Sandy came in, Sandy Grandello, I'm saying their coach came in with a great game plan. She's the last female coach in the whole playoffs going up against, you know, Kurt Miller. You got Kurt Miller, Bill Lambier, and you got James Wade. And it's funny because in Russia, Olaf, who's the assistant coach for Chicago, was the head coach in Russia, and Sandy and James Wade were his assistants. And now you got James, the head coach, and Olaf is the assistant. It's a lot of good coaching over on there on Chicago and on, you know, on the Sky's bench. But you know, I take my hat off to Sandy. Sandy's bringing it. She's coming with a good game plan. She got the whole team playing well, and it's the right time for them to be playing well. And I'm gonna tell you something. Being in Phoenix, and when LA used to play them, like I said, you could drop a car in that arena, and they so loud you will not hear it. And Vegas better get some hand signals going, because that gym is going to be like so loud. And then, like I say, you got the ringmaster and Diana, and like you say, you know, unfortunately, Vegas got their head in the how you say, in the mouth of a lion, and that's Diana Taurasi. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one.
We had this question about James Wade. You had mentioned him just a little bit, but your thoughts on his coaching? Anybody overall?
He's a good coach. You know, I always said that James not only is a good coach, you know, he's done had good mentees too as well. If you know your history, you know, he done coached behind Dan Hughes, you know, won a championship in Seattle, did very, very well in San Antonio. He just came off of Cheryl Reeves' bench, you know, where, you know, up on the Cheryl. And then, like I said, overseas, he was coaching with Olaf, I believe, got 2 or 3 titles over there in Russia with their #1 team. But James is a great developmental coach, you know, and I'm sure he was good for their younger players, the Dominic Shields, Khalil Cooper, and those people. He's a really, really good coach, and you looking at some really good coaching going on, and that's why I say the game tomorrow, Bill gonna have to do something different. He's gonna have to bring some different stuff to the table to beat Sandy.
Yeah. Diana Taurasi was voted by ESPN panel as the GOAT in the WNBA history. We talked about this a little bit. Spoon, I don't think you were around for this. Spoon don't like goats in general. Just a meat preference. She ain't digging goats. But taking a look at how well Phoenix is doing, can we at least start talking about her possibility of becoming the MVP of the championship? Your thoughts? I know it's not over with yet, but who do you like there?
Well, since nobody want to say that, I say most definitely. Phoenix got a lot to play for. They got so many great storylines. And, you know, it's sort of like I love Chelsea Gray, and of course, I'm hoping that they can get it together. But Diana, I mean, if this is her swan song in her case, Sarah Sarah, there's no better way to write it, and she's writing it. You know what I'm saying? She's taking matters into her own hand, like the champion she's done been from top to bottom. I can see why they voted her to go, because she is that bridge between the past and the future. And if Phoenix were to win it, it would be one of the greatest stories ever told. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. I'm not surprised she was, you know, voted the GOAT. I mean, she and I are the same age, and we've played together or against each other our entire lives. And she's won on every level: AAU, high school, college, overseas, Olympians as kids, and in the Olympics, WNBA. I mean, it on every level, you know. So I'm not surprised one bit her being voted as the GOAT. I think if Brittany Griner continues to play as well as she's been playing, you know, they may have to do a co, because they're both really putting in work right now. So I'm not really surprised by, you know, her being the GOAT. If Brittany Griner continues to play, I could see them doing co-MVPs into the final if they make it that far. And, you know, just given the fact that, you know, knowing her, you know, as well as I do, like I said earlier, she smells blood, and they're going to try to like finish this, because you got to keep in mind, she is hurt. So if they're able to finish this tomorrow, they're going to get a couple days, you know, provided that Connecticut does what Connecticut's supposed to do. This could be like a nice break for her ankle.
Yeah. Any other thoughts? Mighty Ruthie. Guard play. I think you spoke on. You've spoken before. I had said before about Brittany Griner, and I'm watching Brittany Griner drop 17-footers like layups.
Yeah.
I mean, I was so impressed with. I was like, holy smokes! Something a couple of years back, she just, because I always was hard on her inability to consistently knock down that high post jumper, and I was like, until she develops that, it'll be easier. Now they're double teaming her. She became a better passer. I don't know how many assists she had, but she certainly got good looks out of the double team in the post. Plus, she scored in the post. But between Brittany Griner and Taurasi, for me, I'm with Ashley. I'm thinking right now they're the front runners. Your thoughts?
Well, I'm gonna say real quick. One reason I like Brittany, she plays more poised now, and she just plays like I said. If they double team her, she passes the ball off well. But like I said, her little mid-range jumper, I was really impressed. I'm like, she's hit 2 or 3 of those in a row, switching up the net. So she definitely has improved her game, and she just, when she get roughed up a little bit, she just sort of stay poised and just keep playing. She just said, "You're just gonna watch me work." So that's her mentality. She don't get all uptight trying to fight.
Yeah. She
just like, okay, let me just raise my game up, and that's how I'm gonna fight you, by just putting the ball in the hole.
So Penny, what needs to be done in game 3? We're going on to not game 3. I'm sorry, game 4. So Chicago's going to Connecticut. Connecticut will have that home court advantage, but Chicago leads that series 2-1 right now.
No, they in Chicago.
They're in Chicago.
They're in Chicago.
They in Chicago for that game.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at last week's.
They in Chicago for this game.
Chicago.
And
I had it right though. Chicago's up 2-1.
Yeah,
all right. So what needs to be done?
What in the Chicago game?
Yep. Connecticut. They got to come back, and they're in Chicago. What needs to be done?
Like I said, I don't see. They will never win without Bonner touching that ball down the stretch. Right. Jones needs to get it back to. You got to dance with the partner you came with. Chicago. The whole city's going to be there. The Chicago Bulls are buying tickets, just like the Phoenix Sun men are buying tickets. They're looking for. The city is, I'm sure, it's a big moment because, that's the best they got to offer right now, or the Chicago Sky. Vandersloot, always poised, you might want to try to get her rattled. But the biggest question is between Barner touching it and Jones touching it, can January bounce back after missing that layup? That was a big layup to miss, and that's mental, and I truly think it hurt Connecticut being off because they were on a 14-game or 15-game winning streak, and then it's almost like Spoon said, they went in practice and changed the game plan. All of a sudden, people that were shooting, because I'm not gonna lie to you, and people gonna get mad when I say that, but down the stretch, certain people need to be shooting. Yeah, and that's just the reality of it. The pie is not cut equal. Straight up.
Right.
And there's some people that are, like I said, I don't know if Barner, after the game, I was like, did Barner even get a shot the last 6 minutes?
Yeah.
You got to recognize that.
That's right. That's a lack of recognition. To me, that's just a lack of recognition of who the ball should be. Who should that ball be in the hands of? Who? You got to know that as a playmaker. I am going to this one.
Yeah.
Down the stretch, I knew I'm finding Krista Robinson. I knew I'm finding Tari Phillips. I knew I'm finding them. Who do they go to down the stretch? How do they execute without hesitation or reservation? You got to go right back to what you did. Pick and pop. There's John Quayle. Get her back into what she does. Pick and pop. Go downhill, Jasmine. Get downhill. Get your feet in the paint. Fine. Start to do all those little things that you did once before. Don't change that. Do that same thing, but with a better sense of urgency.
Yes.
It's not there right now. It's not there right now. They got to get there. Not. They'll be sitting like me and you watching.
Yeah. And those were some tough shots that Alicia Thomas was trying to hit over Candace. Candace gonna, play some defense, just like Netta Johnson is saying on this thing here. She didn't have very many points, but she's making her, when it comes to Alicia, I don't know if she's alternate shot because that's how she shoots. But my thing of it is, hey, you got the MVP over there and she don't get a shot?
Yeah. I mean, she wasn't even in the game.
Yeah, well, I was like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? And looking at that, and from the outside, I was like, oh my God. I mean, Even Vera Jones is not even getting the touches that she got. And that's why I say they got to go back to the board. And
She
they
getting clean up. Yeah. She's all clean up point.
It's a different team. Unfortunately, they've been a different team in the playoffs.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Any reason why?
Yeah. Like you said with January, you said January missed an important layup, right? And how we talk about that can become mental. But at this point, if I was to say what January should come and do, when she steps on that floor, that should motivate her. That should be a level of motivation. It's like, dang it, I missed one. But now I'm going to set the tone with what I'm going to do tonight.
Yes.
When I walk out here, I'm setting the tone. She's going to be in someone's ass. Her first shot, if she knocks it down, trust me, it's over. Connecticut will tear it up because of her level of intensity, because of the missed layup. The sense of urgency, the motivation that she has behind it, the inspiration she has behind it. Now it becomes contagious with everybody else. And once it becomes contagious with everybody else, then maybe they get back to what they're comfortable in doing. Get back to being comfortable. Get back to being comfortable. They look very, very, very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
and see, this is where too, and people gonna be like, "Wow, Toler, you going way off the mark with this one." Y'all even gonna say this when I say that.
Oh, let's hear
this is where it comes in, because see, Brianna, obviously, I don't watch her whole career in college. You know, Brianna is a black belt in karate, and you have to be very disciplined and that mental focus.
Yeah,
and I'm hoping that she can pull on that.
That's right.
And like Spoon say, because she is a very strong mental person, and her teammates should have been telling her that even after she missed that layup, Connecticut still had 2 more tries and didn't get the ball in where they could have took the lead. So it didn't just end there, because Thomas 2 shots after that. I'm hoping she can pull on that mental focus that she's always pulled on, because she's been a tough mental player. And like Spoon say, and if I'm her, I'm coming out with everything I got. And I'm gonna tell you something. Connecticut if they don't get out the gate in the first 5 minutes, it's lights out.
That's right.
Let me ask you ladies a question. So the only difference from the regular season until now is like AT joining the lineup. Do you think this has really messed up their chemistry, or do you think this will help them, by adding her because she's a good player?
Let me answer that. No, I don't think it messed up their chemistry at all. What I'm saying is, how do you use AT within their offensive sets? You go back to, because she is great at these things. This is one thing I know she's great at. She's great at going and setting screens, rolling to the rim. You got to utilize that, not going through her, the offense going through her. There's a time and place for that. But utilize her in ways that get everybody else open, because she's capable of all of those things. But no, it does not mess up their chemistry at all, I don't think. It's how you utilize her within the offense that you run.
And then they forgetting too, her bread and butter, like Spoon said, Netta, you got me laughing, girl, you crazy. I said, people forget too, like Spoon said, I'm not going through her. I'm letting Bonner and Jones do it, because people forget that Alicia Thomas is one hell of an offensive rebounder.
Yes.
That if they miss, she's going to be there to clean it up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Is she, let's just get to the point though. The most important question tonight is she a dirty player? Is she a dirty player? Because Netta saw her tackle someone the other day, and you all know where I'm going with this.
Speaking of tackling,
I don't think she's a dirty player. If I'm playing in the playoff, I'm giving you all I got. And if you want to beat me, and I'm from DC, we used to say this. Now you may beat me, but you ain't gonna beat my ass. You know, so that ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, we did.
If Alicia Thomas, she's bringing that aggressiveness because the moment calls for it.
Sure. All right. Well, what about DT? Somebody wants to know if DT is a dirty player.
No,
she just got flailing arms. That's all.
You got flailing arms.
But she's not dirty. She's not out there intentionally trying to hurt somebody.
I don't think DT is dirty either. I think DT is going to kill you, and DT play mental games with people. And when they fall into it, she's definitely the two players that I've seen that can talk so much. I love Diana. Always have. Always try to get to LA. It's 2 players that I say, that can talk and play. And that's Diana Taurasi and Delisha Milton-Jones. Okay.
Delisha Milton-Jones. Yes, absolutely.
Delisha used to talk so much trash to these people. Now, one time I heard Delisha say something, And I'm her GM afterwards, and I go, "D, how low can you go?" You know?
Yo, funny story about Diana talking mess. I was playing with the Liberty, and one time, you know how sometimes you get in the doghouse and you just, maybe you guys don't know, but I would get in the doghouse every once in a while. Not really sure how I would get in the doghouse, but I'd be in there. And we were playing Phoenix, and they're like, we're setting up this game plan, and we had somebody who was Gardner, who's not necessarily the best defender in the world, but she's Gardner. And I'm just shaking my head like, this is probably not going to work, but you know, it is what it is. So they come in, and D is like busting her ass. Like the first 10 minutes, first quarter, I think she probably got like 15, 20 points in the first quarter. So then I get subbed in, and they're like, you know, you guard her. And so I get in the game, and like D and I are pretty close, so we like dap each other up. And then she says really loudly, like, I was wondering when you was gonna come in the game. You the only motherfucker that can guard me. And I was like,
I know,
but it is what it is. But I know.
And the W's gonna miss D when she goes, because D. I used to love to watch her play, because first of all, she's gonna ball on you. She's gonna talk trash to the other team. And then she still got something left over for the referees, but she think they calling back.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Get out of here. It's like watching 3 shows in one game with her. You know?
Legit.
So my question is not about Diana Taurasi or Alyssa Thomas, but is Courtney Williams a dirty player? So you always got to go to the internet, because there's always something. You knew we were going to get to it. So inquiring minds want to know your thoughts about, and for those of you that did not catch it, there was Courtney Williams actually herself posted a fight that took place outside. It looked like some kind of, I don't know, fried chicken truck or some kind of wing.
They fighting over the chicken.
Exactly. There was a fight over some chicken. That's how it gets twisted. It was a fight. They were fighting over the chicken. Somebody asked for all flats, and so they didn't get the flats, so they got. Anyway, so it was a fight outside a chicken wing truck in Atlanta Dream. Courtney Williams, Crystal Bradford, and Kalani Brown, who eventually got waived, I think. But the fight happened back in May. And for some reason, it just recently posted, Courtney Williams posted it to her site, and maybe somebody else posted it to theirs. And you know how social media, you never even know where it began. But it became such big news that it made the evening news. And now it's a trending story. The WNBA had to come out, or at least the Atlanta Dream program had to come out, organization, had to come out with a statement, and this is not becoming, and this is not who we are, and it doesn't represent. Just thoughts overall. I don't even know where to begin with this question. I guess I'll begin here. Okay, the fight happened over the chicken wings or whatever it was. Why now? Why even bother to post it? Your thoughts? Because I was like, why do that? What were your thoughts? Mighty Ruthie, what you think first time you saw it?
You know the answer. I'm assuming if you're gonna post something like that, you want interest, you want views, you want people comments, and maybe, to me, I think it was a very immature move to make. I think I didn't really get in a fight. If I got in a fight, I couldn't see myself even thinking about posting it. That
ain't nobody fighting you, Ruthie. Ain't nobody fighting you.
No, I don't know. I think it was a very immature. I guess she apologized later, but I don't know why a player of her caliber, for one. And I think she got in a fight in 218. I was looking, is it 218? She had another fight? If I'm not mistaken, I saw another fight she had. But anyway, I think it was, I don't know, maybe she needs some kind of counseling or something. But that was she did like a double negative. To post it was not cool. But I think it's just her generation.
But Spoon, she apologized. What does that mean?
You know, that's what gets me. You know, you knew when you put it up. You know, like Ruthie said, are you doing it for views? Are you doing it for attention? Are you doing it for see what people are going to say? But I think there was a lack of thinking behind it. Like, okay, I'm a professional athlete. This thing is going to go across the world and mess up everything that I ever worked for all of this time. Mess up everything. Each one of them involved. Each one of them involved could mess up their entire career. and don't get to play again. My thing is, you weren't thinking. It's impossible for you to tell me you were thinking to put something like that up. And then I think about who's in your circle, who's talking to these kids. This is why I always say, we who played in this league, we do have a place in this league to still be able to sit down and talk with our young people. Because the one thing about us, we're going to keep it 100. We're going to tell you what the real is and what reality is when you do things like this, what it could cost for a long time to come. And I don't think those things are thought about. It's all about, will you like me? Will I get more followers? Well, I don't know what it is, but you lose your career. You lose your career and then the lack of respect.
Yeah. I'm reading, I'm remembering too, just from the story. So her partner she's a YouTuber, and obviously they make money that way. And maybe somehow or other they thought, you're getting $10,000 or whatever it is per YouTube, for so many views, that this was something that would definitely go viral, would interest everyone. And so that's one of the big struggles now. And now, I mean, if we're going to open up a whole nother can of worms, when you start talking about the NIL, right? Name, image, and likeness, and all these people now that can start making money from social media. What kind of content? It's not like they have, Rita Haywood as their producer, right? Control, that can say this is what we're going, we're going to put on whatever we want to put on. And what does that do? And I think Spoon brings up a good point, because who's mediating this to help them understand, yep, it's nice to make $10,000 or $5,000 or whatever it is for this video to go viral. But is that worth the rest of your professional career should the wrong content get out there? So I don't know who's managing that, but that's something to think about.
I was thinking one of those things too, where all these kids nowadays, and Ruthie and Spoon, you missed it when Cheryl was on here. I had a lot of fun.
I watched.
It's interesting because, society is a tricky thing with this social media. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate that a lot of people now, and I'm not talking about Courtney when I say this, I'm talking about, like you say, the generation, everybody is just gone bonkers thinking they just got to do whatever just to get on social media. That's one thing that I'm not happy about as far as with the W, where so much is focused on that now that a lot of these players forget to even play. Because to be honest with you, the teams that's in the playoffs right now, these are the teams that focused on playing. To be honest with you, when you look at like these teams, you even look at a Seattle, you don't see their stars doing that. That's what I love too, actually, about Sabrina. You know what I'm saying? She's a quiet leader. I see her investing in all these other things quietly while everybody else is on TikTok. When she's done playing, she's probably going to be a quadruple millionaire or something, And, it's a very, very unfortunate situation, because the world says to these people, go, 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 go. And then, unfortunately, it was really, really, bad judgment. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, I'm sure that Courtney's going to get another opportunity, but we'll draft her, And Kalani, let's set the story straight, who I drafted and is an awesome person. Yes. And even though it looked like Atlanta cut her, she asked to be cut. For whatever reason, didn't want to play with the team, but she was out there breaking it up. So let's, put it there. And then she was trying to break the fight up. And we don't really know how it got started. And it's, and that's, I don't know, that's something you don't leave for interpretation, because people are just gonna run with it. You know what I'm saying? And it's a very, very unfortunate situation. I'll be glad when the game comes tomorrow, because the game's going to be so good that it'll be forgotten about.
I feel as though, like, what was the point of actually doing it? I mean, I understand you're a YouTube person, you make money off of YouTube, but this is something that can make or break your life. Like, this is going to follow you wherever you go for the rest of your life now. So when you're done, although basketball has been great to all of us, but it is a minuscule part of our life. It has provided opportunity for us, but it was a blurb. And we've been able to leverage basketball into different areas. But now if she's if she's looking to get hired as a basketball coach, when you Google her name, this is going to be like the first thing that pops up.
Mm-hmm. Just mad swinging, mad haymakers over chicken wings. All right, you all been following this Kyrie Irving story. He can't play home games because he hasn't been vaccinated. This is a whole nother issue.
Yeah.
Never once did we think that whether or not we could or could not play a game or players could play professionally would be, headlining over whether or not you had a vaccine. Thoughts on this? I know I've seen a lot of comments. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar came out with some pretty harsh comments, and everybody's got comments and thoughts on this. Why not certified unscripted? Good, bad, or indifferent? How are you feeling about this, Penny?
I'm one of those people. I'm not telling anybody what to do. Well, look, I'm vaccinated. I just believe, like people like, oh, they could track you, or they could track us by a computer or phone and all those things. I'm just one of those people that just believe in, unfortunately, I done been around people where the whole family was vaccinated, but the dad wasn't, and he was a young dad, and the father died. So now your family is left without your breadwinner. Personally, I feel that anybody got kids, you should be obligated to get vaccinated. At this point, the world that we live in and with this virus running around, like I can't tell you what to do, but I'm all for the vaccination because I just believe, hey, you got to do it. At least that's how I felt like for myself and for the people that I'm around, Yeah. So that's just my take on it, So that's
Spoon, you're in the NBA right now. I mean, how big is this? What's going on? What's the buzz about whether or not you should just go ahead and get the vaccination or the right to choose? How does that work?
Well, it's not something I really talk about very much. I'm just like, Penny, your choice. But in this league, it's something that's asked of you because we are grouped all the time and we try to keep everybody as healthy as possible. So they do recommend it. They recommend that every player, every staff member, anyone who's in tier 1 to be vaccinated. And everyone has their choice. And they're giving you, I guess, if not, this is the deal. So it's pretty tough right now, especially when you talk about Kyrie and it's his decision that he's made. But it's also put their team in a situation where, even with practice, they said they're not moving their practice to accommodate him. So it lets you know that they'll move on. They'll move on if you choose not to. So it's your choice, but take a deep thought about what the consequences might be and then continue if you wish.
I see Wiggins finally got vaccinated, and it's not just Kyrie. New York, you're not going to be able to play home games.
Yep.
Golden State up in Oakland, you're not going to be able to play home games.
That's right.
Again, what was crazy about that, though, what I didn't understand about that rule, that, okay, they can't play home, but if a visiting team come in and they have a player that's unvaccinated, he can play. I mean, I was like, what type of sense was that?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying, Spoon? When I read that, I go, wait a minute, okay, he can't play because he lives there.
Yeah,
but the visiting team got a guy.
He can bring it in, right?
He can play. So to me, I'm like, the league should have just said straight up, vaccinated or you don't play. But like I said, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'd rather try to save my life than somebody else's life. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I mean, Ruthie and Ashley, what's your thoughts? I guess.
Well, I'll be honest. I've never really liked any vaccine. I didn't do the flu shot, but I had to get vaccine to go to Tokyo. But I wanted to sit and wait and see what happens. But I've seen too many close people pass away now that wasn't vaccine. A pastor and his wife, 60 years old, passed away, within days of each other because they weren't vaccinated. They was like, the Lord gonna take care of us. They had a revival, and I've known other cases too. So to me now, seeing that the people that do get really sick or pass away haven't been vaccinated, I'm thinking like maybe it may be something to look into. You do your research, but like I said, I think it's like everybody's opinion. But we got a lot of people that are dying around us. But to me, you just got to make a wise decision.
I feel as though I'm vaccinated as well, and I did it because my family, my mom and my aunts are at that age where they're at risk, and I would just feel horrible if I were to bring something home, especially with how much I have to travel. and I would bring something home that was detrimental to my family.
Sure.
So that's why I got vaccinated. You know, and I know when I was broadcasting with the Liberty, it was getting to the point where, you know, the New York state law was coming into play at a certain date. You know, if you're not vaccinated, you can't get in Barclays. And that was the law. You know, I'm shocked that they're allowing away team players who are unvaccinated to play in states that have that law.
Yeah.
I'm actually very shocked by that. If I were Kyrie, I would go to the Players Association and petition because that just makes no sense.
Exactly. I was like, okay. You know,
Yeah,
I was like, well, that's kind of like, I mean, to like what you said, it makes no sense to me. Either you want them vaccinated or you don't, you know.
And I
Right.
think the bigger picture is, you know, I mean, for the longest, as you all know, I buried my father a month ago yesterday, and you know, at 93 years of age and with cancer, I literally stayed in my house. That's why I was so happy to see y'all every week, because I didn't ever get a chance to see anybody, right? So, you know, I mean, I just think sometimes we think it's so simple, and you're not always thinking you can get it and give it to someone else, you know what I mean? The other people in your family, you know, it's just, and even when we had to go to school, at least in my day, you know, you couldn't come to school. You couldn't start school without your little vaccine.
Yeah, that's
record,
right. That's
Remember, we
right.
had to have all these little vaccines and shots
Yeah,
and
that
stuff.
little
I'd be,
thing
I
that's
don't
on
want to
our
go.
arm.
Yeah,
you
you know,
still have to do that. You still have to do
right.
that.
You know, I mean, so, you know, our
my
children
mom did
have
that.
to do it. And now we're talking about, but that was just for, you know, what, measles and polio, you know, whatever stuff that, you know, long gone. Now we have something that is legitimately has killed off a significant proportion of our society. And we're still going back and forth over it. It's like, okay, you know, this is what you have to do to protect others. I don't know. To me, it's simple, but it's not. I understand but I don't want to get vaccinated, or, you know, it's against my religion, or it's whatever it is. I do. You can have that choice, but you don't have the choice to argue about whether or not it's going, you know, for a whole organization. I mean, the government has to do it. There's, you know, schools have to do it. I mean, to me,
Everybody.
what's the big deal? That the league has to do it, and especially because you're all sweating on top of each other in close proximity. To me, it
And
just
it's
makes
over 700,000 people as of yesterday, because, you know, I
Okay.
actually watched CNN in the morning.
Yeah.
It was over 700,000 people
It's crazy.
died from COVID. And then
Crazy.
I look at it like this right here. You know how this is bigger than you. This is bigger than me. This is bigger than us. And that's why I say, to me, go get vaccinated for the big picture that it could possibly help all of us.
Sure. All right. Well, before we get ready to jump off and bring on our mighty producer, Ashley Battle, everybody that comes on the show gets this wonderful question. We always ask the guests, who's your top 5 WNBA players ever?
Oh,
And you don't get to skate around. You get 5 and only 5. Ashley, figure it out.
I gotta do it right now.
You're on the clock.
Now,
You're on the clock.
hot seat.
I'm on the clock.
Yes.
We got Coop. We got Diana, Lisa, Swoops, and my 5th. Oh, this is a tough one. Crap. I'm gonna go with Holtzclaw.
Holtzclaw.
Okay.
Oh, big
All
one.
right.
Big
All
one.
right.
Big one.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
Big one.
Yeah, we gotta give her some props, because don't we got her coming up?
Next week.
She's coming up next week. Can we tease
Well, look
that?
at that.
Shamika
Next
Holtzclaw,
week.
you didn't even know she's gonna be
I
on
didn't
here
even
next
know.
week.
I didn't
Tell her
even know.
that you gave her some props. Was she one of the toughest players you've ever played against?
Oh yeah, like I think it's a travesty that she's not in the Hall of Fame too.
Right. Yeah, that name comes up a lot. And then Spoon, because you're back, and I think Ruthie too. I think Penny, it might have been you, me, and Rita, or I don't know, but they got to sneak out of this. We were getting bombarded with the whole thing picked It's got to be Coop.
Oh, it was when Swoops was on. It was funny too.
It's Coop or Edwards. Coop or Edwards. Best player. Go. On the clock. Figure it out. Because we got bombarded, and the inquiring minds want to know in our last question.
I'm not in that one.
No.
I'm not even in that one. That one right there is too damn good.
Right? Damn. I forgot about her.
I think they said I'm trying
You
to.
can't never give out that one, Ash.
You don't get to dance. You don't get to dance. Hoops Nation says you don't get to dance.
When I was a kid,
chill out, Hoops Nation, chill out.
when I was a kid, I used to wear my hair like Edwards.
Oh, okay. So
yes.
you're picking Edwards.
I didn't say that. I just
right. Nobody wants to say. So we split it.
Actually, you fit right into this dance. Like I said, we dancing with the partner Hoop Nation that we bought. We always dance around it.
I know, right? No. I did say, me personally is T. Edwards. However, if I'm in a last game situation, ball in hand, and somebody's got to have it, and it's got to be the go-to, in that scenario for me, it would be Coop. But all else in terms of the better defender, all round everything player, Edwards. But if I'm like, so we gonna need to score.
Coop would tell you she didn't defend. Coop would tell you T got that. Coop didn't defend nobody. That was fake D all the way around.
Right. So there you go. So we've answered that, but we get beat up on that every single week. Last thing before we move on, Ashley, we didn't get enough chance. First of all, congratulations. You are now with the Boston Celtics organization, from the WNBA to the NBA. Tell us a little bit about your new stint, what you've been doing, and what you will be doing.
Thank you so much, ladies. I'm a new scout for the Celtics. I get to evaluate talent on the college level, the NBA level, G League level, overseas. It's really cool. I get to have input on the team's direction and where we're going to go in the future. So it's a pretty cool gig.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool gig. Now you've gone from playing professionally. What was it? Seattle, New York. You were somewhere else. 6 years in the league, overseas. And now back, and then you went into wealth management a little bit, and I saw a really good piece on you for whatever reason. I think it just came out October 2nd, a couple of days ago. But you talked about just how much, because this is a really good topic we should probably explore too, is just helping young players early understand how to protect their finances. How many stories have we seen about NBA players, NFL players going completely broke, living in the streets? I know of one of them. Talk a little bit about your experience there and how that has helped you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really just, going through experiences and seeing people, myself, and really wanting to give back in a different way, in a different manner. And one of the things that is just so vital for everyone is to know where your money is going, how to generate more money, and, how do you invest well. So I was with a company that we started a financial planning firm specifically for athletes. And I ended up leaving to go to the NBA, but they're still doing really great work. 24 Wealth Management. They changed their name. They're now 24 Wealth Management. They still do really great work. They have, WNBA players. They have NBA players and football players. But it's just really important to understand, even though like a lot of people don't make a ton of money in the WNBA, but you could still use that to your advantage and still, profit well between that and overseas. You could still, levy and manage that money. So it's great because it helps me, now in the industry that I'm in and what I'm doing, because we have to talk about contracts and money all the time and how, contracts affect, our salary cap and different exemptions that we have and how we can obtain players. So it works really well. It's a great foundation to have, going into the front office.
Well, can anybody in your wealth management group teach me how to pick the winning Powerball number?
Yeah, I'm trying to learn that myself.
I needed that one.
I need to know about wealth management.
we're all spread out across the country. We gotta start a little group, you know.
Yeah.
So if we all pitch in the money, and then if
That's
one
it.
of us win, we all break each other up.
We all
something,
share.
I know that's right.
All right. No, I like it. I like it. All right. Well, those are our closing thoughts for today. Ashley Battle has joined us all the way from
Thank you,
UConn,
Ashley.
being the WNBA
Thank you,
and
Ashley.
the NBA.
No, thank you. Thank you, ladies.
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much for joining us. And we're wrapping up pretty much tonight. Final thoughts. You got one quick one, Penny, one quick one, Mighty Ruthie, one quick one, Teaspoon. Go.
Oh, who's
Penny, you
going
were
first? Oh, you got that?
Yeah, you were first.
Oh, well, for me, like I said earlier, show up on 90 night. Okay. Show up on 90 night.
Night. Oh, man. Night. What you thinking, Ruthie?
It's game time, baby. It's game
All
time.
right.
Whistles up.
Tomorrow night.
Get off the sideline. Get in the game. It's game time.
There you go.
Where'd
Tomorrow
that
night,
whistle
we
come
do
from?
or die.
I
Teaspoon,
got
what
one
you
more
got?
final thought.
Go ahead,
I know
Penny.
I can't interrupt, but Ruthie, tell your nephew he better lift some more weights because your guns were just as big as his when I
For
saw
real?
it.
I will. I'll tell him.
With your nephew. That
That's
picture.
it.
Mighty Ruthie.
That thing's wrong, Rudy. Hey, there's no time to waste.
No time.
No time to waste. Give it all you got.
All right. Rita, any thoughts?
One word, urgency. There's no tomorrow. Urgency.
All right.
Come
Well,
with
we'll
it.
see.
We'll get it done.
I know we're going to be on our group text, talk about the game tomorrow night. Penny's always on top of it, so we'll be watching. Hope you'll be watching. Thank you for watching us. Remember to tell a friend that we're here every Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Certified Unscripted. Always will bring you the raw, the real, and the respected right here every single week. So we look forward to seeing you again. We'll catch your questions. If we didn't, you can always go to certifiedunscripted.com. Drop a message there. Until then, when it comes to women's hoops, we're not new to this.
Who did this?
We
What's
are
new?
certified.
Coming for you, Rudy. I'm coming for you, Rudy. I'm coming.
Oh, look at me.